Hi, folks. Can you hear me? Regina is having some technical difficulties with her website. So I think I am going to be the one to lead our meeting here today. She is, of course, the person who runs the Michigan State Travel Program at the Alumni Association. And I would imagine that she will make an appearance at some point once she gets uh, her connection back again. Also have with us Brian Hoke, who is going to be your host, Michigan State host on the trip. And Brian, you want to take a minute to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Bob. I'm Brian Hoke. I've been with MSU about 19 years now. Previously spent majority of my time working in the athletic department. And since June 1, I've been a university advancement employee. But I live here in East Lansing and look forward to meeting you all on this great trip.
And there's our hostess with the mostest. You are muted, Regina.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I had a few technical difficulties. Back now. I'm Regina Cross. I'm the director of the Spartan Pathways Travel Program, and I'm pleased that you've joined us today. Just a little housekeeping before I have Bob start the presentation. If you could all make sure that you're placed on mute. The microphones pick up a lot of noise that you might not think would. So it's be better if we all were on mute during this presentation. If Bob hasn't introduced himself, he is one of the senior directors, regional directors at AHI Travel. He's been there for many, many years. I've worked with him majority of my career at Michigan State running the travel program. And it's wonderful. Thank you, Bob, for being here, and take it away.
Okay, thanks, Regina. Glad you were here to join us. Technical issues, we love them. We're not going to have any of that on this trip. I can promise you that, of course. Yeah, I have been with AHI for 25 years now, as Regina said, and I've been working with her pretty much that entire time. Of course, she was a toddler when I started working with her at Michigan State, but it's been a real privilege for AHI to work with Michigan State as long as we have. We go back to our company was founded in 1962. And we've been working with Michigan State pretty much since the late 60s. So we're over 50 years in partnership. We are a tour operator based in Chicago, where we're founded and have been there ever since. We have about 120 employees in Chicago that works to give you all the best customer service possible. We work with about 150 universities and colleges around the U.S. and in Canada. We also work with some nonprofits, Smithsonian Museums and National Trust for Historic Preservation amongst them. But our primary business is and always has been in the alumni travel market. And we're very lucky to work in this market because it's a great group of travelers, as you will discover if you haven't already done so. I mentioned our customer service. We take pride in that. We get very high ratings on that year in, year out. And I hope John, your travel coordinator back in Chicago, has been helpful to you. Please don't hesitate to be in touch with him in the lead up to the program if you have any questions or concerns. And then we'll continue that on with our staff of fantastic travel directors that you will meet on your arrival into Germany. Beata and Renz have been with us for many years, and they are top-notch folks that understand river cruising to their core, have done it many, many, many times. Signe is newer to our team, but I'm sure you'll really enjoy getting to meet her and the rest of the team. They are there to make sure that your trip meets your expectations, high expectations, I hope, and they're there to take care of anything, issues that come up. Please do not hesitate to go to them. These are our AHI employees. These are not ship staff. And go to them first if you have any issues with your cabins, with food, anything like that. They are there to make sure that your trip is safe, of course, but also meets your high expectations. So these are fully escorted tours, which if you haven't been on one, means that when you exit customs at your port of arrival, you'll be greeted by someone holding one of our AHI Travel logos, and they will make sure that you are safely escorted to the ship or to the hotel if you're on the pre-trip. In addition to our travel staff, our three travel directors, of course, you'll have the entire ship staff there at your disposal as well. We fully charter these ships, meaning that everybody on board is going to be with one of our partner associations, with other alumni associations. The ship itself, the Amadeus Imperial, is a newer one in their fleet. The Amadeus fleet, it was built in 2020. And there was a couple of years in COVID when it wasn't used at all. So it's almost brand new. But I think you'll find the accommodations are very, very nice. Food is fantastic, and the staff themselves are great. These ships can contain up to about 180 passengers. We're sailing on this particular departure with 129. And that's because we do have a lot of solo travelers on our river cruises because we don't charge them extra to travel solo. So that's good. That's good news because at 129, you're going to have a lot of extra space in the public areas. And it's a really nice ship. I think you're going to enjoy it. I don't think I need to tell anybody that went to school in East Lansing how to dress for winter. But just be aware that it's going to be chilly, especially when you're out for hours on end in some of these holiday markets. I took my family there a couple of years ago, and I was in Chicago for a number of years when I was working at AHI. And so I know what cold weather is. And it was forecast to be in the 40s, low 40s, something like that. It's cold. So layers, lots of layers. I don't need to tell you all how to do that. But do wear some really comfortable shoes. There's going to be a lot of walking in these holiday markets, Christkindl markets. They're usually in the old part of town, so it's going to be called cobblestone streets. And in some instances, you're going to have to walk a fair amount to get to the holiday markets from the ship or from the motor coach, because they don't allow, the motor coaches to get too close into these areas. Money matters. You're going at a good time to Europe. The exchange rate for the euro versus the dollar is as strong as it's been in a long time. You can get 0.95 euro for $1 US, which is a really good exchange rate. So you would, if you're interested in buying any souvenirs, you'll get a good rate. If you're going on the Switzerland Post program, their exchange rate's not quite so good for the Swiss franc. It's 0.89 for a dollar, but that's Switzerland. How much cash to take? I usually say, don't bother to take cash. Get it out of the ATM when you get to Europe. The exchange rate with the machines are going to be the best that you can possibly get. Better than a bank, better certainly than at an airport if you wanted to exchange cash. So just make sure your bank is aware that you're going to be traveling in Europe. Just let them know that so that when you go to the ATM, put your card in, it doesn't think you're fraudulent. But normally what I do when I go on a trip like this, I'll get out 200 euros just for walking around money and incidentals and stuff like that. And then, of course, you can spend it in duty free on the way back on your exit if you haven't spent all that cash. If you haven't been to Europe recently or abroad, it's a good idea to notify your bank also that you're going to be using your credit cards abroad. The destinations we're going to on this trip, all of the major credit cards are widely accepted, except American Express. There's a lot of retailers and vendors in Europe that no longer accept American Express, or they'll say the machine doesn't work or something like that. But they just don't like the extra surcharge that American Express puts on their charges. So MasterCard, Visa, I wouldn't probably not Discover, but MasterCard or Visa. If you've got that, that's what you should go to. If you haven't already, go to your phone carrier and see if they have an international plan. If you have T-Mobile, like I do, it's pretty much automatic. When you go anywhere in Europe, it crosses over to the international plan there. AT&T has a package I know that's about $10 a day, or at least it was when I was with them. But just be in touch with them and so that you can have access to your phone. We all have phones now, so let's make sure that it's going to be, you're going to be able to use it when you get there. The electrical current on the ship is 220 volts. That won't matter to charge your devices. And we have sent you not a converter, but a little pluggy thing that will go into the electrical outlets on the ship where you can recharge your phones and your laptops and things like that. That doesn't matter that that's 220 for those devices. Don't take your hair dryer or hair curler or anything like that that runs on 110 because it will blow it out, and it might blow out the ship circuits too. So we don't want that. They do have hair dryers in the cabins. Tipping, always a question that comes up. And all of this material pretty much is in the final documents that you'll be receiving. Just make sure you click through on all the links that we send you to get dig into all of this little information. But tipping for all the included meals that are away from the ship, those are all included. Guides, drivers, those are all included. What is not included is the ship staff. And we recommend generally $10 to $12 per person per day for the ship staff that will be divided equally amongst all of the ship staff, the restaurant staff, the guys working in the engine room, housekeeping staff, everybody. Our travel directors, you'll get to know them very well. And most of our travelers, they do want to leave them a tip. It is completely up to you. It is certainly not required in any way. But if you do want to give them something, we recommend $5 to $10 per person per day. And that as well will be divided up equally amongst all of the travel directors. And the ship staff tip, you can actually put that on a credit card on your departure, so you don't have to worry about taking extra cash for that. Before going to the airport, I'd encourage you to make sure that you have your airline carrier's app on your phone so that you can do things like track your bags and just have that contact in case any of the airline flights have an irregularity, as the airlines like to call them. And make sure if you're going directly to the ship that your bags are checked all the way through to Dusseldorf. And if you're going to Berlin, of course, the same for Berlin. In the final documents that we sent you, you will find our AHI after hours number. Make sure you have that with you. I'd go ahead and put that in your phone just in case there is one of those nasty irregularities at the airport or in the air. We'll be monitoring all the flights that we've booked. If you have not booked air through us, make sure you have that available as well so you can alert us, so we can alert the travel directors that you may be delayed. I did notice that if you are going to Dusseldorf directly to start the trip, that the meeting place is in exit 4 at the Dusseldorf airport. But again, that is going to be in your final documents, so you can check that. It's a great trip. It's an awful lot of fun. As I mentioned, I took my family a couple of years ago, and it's just a really nice experience. And I think you're going to enjoy it. We appreciate you putting your trust in us to provide this for you. And Regina, what am I missing?
Okay. One of the things I thought about was cocktails and drinks on board the ship. Is there extra charges for that?
Yes, beer and wine is included with all the meals, but cocktails at the bar are a charge.
Okay, how about soft drinks between meals?
Yes, they are a charge as well.
Okay,
I know, coffee and tea unlimited free, but they charge you for a soft drink. We've tried to get them to change, but I don't know. The Austrians just won't do it.
okay. Wonderful. Does anyone have any questions? Oh,
Hi, this is Robin. Can you hear me?
yes.
Do you have, on the actual boat, is there a spa, a gym, those type of facilities?
Yes, there's an exercise room. I wouldn't call it a gym. And I believe it has an exercise bike and a treadmill. There is a masseuse on board and a massage room. But I wouldn't go so far as to call that a spa either, but they do have a hairdresser on board as well.
And can we book that in advance or just wait till we get on the ship?
I wouldn't worry about trying to do it too far in advance. She is not that busy usually, so
Okay, and the same with dining reservations, we don't need to make those in advance.
no. It's open seating in the restaurant.
Okay. One of the questions, the transfer from Dusseldorf to the ship. Bob, do you know how long that is?
It's very short. It's about 25 minutes, maybe less,
Okay.
depending on traffic.
All right. So when people arrive, will the cabin rooms be ready, or I think I read somewhere that it might be a delay?
Depending on your flight arrival, yes, they might not be available. The cabins might not be available, but however, we'll arrange for the early arrivals to do a brief motor coach tour of Dusseldorf, give you an opportunity to get something to eat, and then the ship cabins will all be available by 4 p.m. They turn them over as quickly as they can. You know, they've got another group on board that morning that has departed. So they're having to clean the entire ship. And we'd like them to do a really, really good job. But, you know, and there'll be some late arrivals as well. The folks going to the Berlin extension are going to be coming in a little later in the afternoon. So normally they do a really good job. No, we don't have people sitting around staring at them for long, which is pretty miserable after a long night on an airplane. So,
Okay, are there laundry facilities on board?
no, not for you to use, but yes, they do have a laundry service.
So you would give your laundry in a bag to someone?
Just,
Okay,
just like at a hotel. Just
okay.
like at a hotel.
And so there would be a charge to that.
Yes, yes.
All right, do we have any other questions? Okay, all right.
I'm
Well,
sorry, I
thank-
couldn't get myself off of mute fast enough.
Okay. all
Sorry,
right, okay.
this is Carla. Well, at the captain's dinner, is there a certain dress that's required? Will we have to wear any formal attire?
No, not at all. And the river cruising scene is very casual. Most people do like to dress up a little bit at dinner, you know, what do they call it? Country club casual. But no formal dress at all.
Thank you.
Yes, and Mary Ann had a question?
Yeah, I do. I was going to ask you to explain in better detail how we're getting from the ship to the Christmas markets and the timeframes that would incur, because I know most of the markets are in the evening. So if you can go through that.
You mean like every stop you want?
Well, no, just in general, like how do we, so I know we disembark the ship, and then are we walking to the markets or getting on shuttles? And then if we go in the evening, what do we have departure times and return times, that kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. Some of them you're going to be able to walk to. In Cologne, the market is very near the docking site. In Rudesheim, it's very close to the docking site. You'll be able to walk there and go back out in the evening if you'd like in both of those locations. If it does require a motor coach transfer to get to it, like Heidelberg, which is about a 35, 40-minute ride from the ship, you're not going to be able to go at night for that one. Strasbourg, you'll be able to go back out at night as well, but there will be a shuttle available for that. There'll be a big motor coach transferred for the afternoon visit, but then there'll be a shuttle available in the evening. So it's kind of a mix. There are some sites that are within walking distance, and you're more than welcome to go back out as many times as you like. Just be mindful of, ship's departure times. But the others are going to involve a motor coach transfer. Like Brysac is a pretty good coach ride away.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, any other questions?
Sorry, this is Robin again. Really quickly, I think Regina, in your email, you stated that tipping for housekeeping was separate from tipping from the rest of the staff on the boat. But then Bob said it's just staff is one tip. So what is the proper tipping?
It's the housekeeping at the hotels. If you're on the pre or post, it's not included.
Ah, thank
So
you.
that's separate.
Any other questions?
If we're coming in the day before, will there be instructions in our packets on where we're to go?
Yes, it will give you the docking site. That is an address, just like a street address. But it is in those documents. But if I'll get John to send out an email that I'll check with him and make sure that he has that in the documents. But we'll send that out. You can just give that to a cab driver and they'll take you to it.
Thank you.
All right, I do want to mention a few things. If you should have received by email the final documents. I believe they went out yesterday. And those have a number of, has a lot of information that you'll need. It's good to have that, take a look at that before you depart. You should also be receiving a box from AHI, a blue box that will have, as Bob mentioned, the adapter in that, along with luggage tags and so forth. So that should be coming soon. If you haven't received it in the next week or so, give AHI a call to see the status. Also from the alumni office, you had an opportunity to select your travel gifts, your Spartan travel gifts, and those are going out actually later today. So you'll be receiving them by the beginning of next week. So also too, if you haven't had an opportunity, I know a number of you have, we have our online directory called, it's from a company called Bright Crowd, where you can create your own page and give people an idea of who you are. If you haven't done that so far, let me know and I can resend an email invitation to you to join if you like. But it's a great way for you to get to know the other people on the trip prior to. We do have other universities that are on board the ship. As Bob, I believe, mentioned, they do charter the entire ship. And so there's alums from other universities. Those universities are Indiana, Kansas State, the National Trust, U.S. Naval Academy, Purdue, Rice, Texas A&M, and Air Force Academy. So, and usually these groups all get along really well. My experience has been everyone's usually very congenial and fun. So I think you'll enjoy that. let's see, if you wanted to write down the AHI emergency number, that number is 844-382-2701. It will also be in a letter that I sent out to you with your gifts. So take a look at that. But again, it's 844-382-2701. Okay. I think that's all I have. Now, what I'd like is for us to kind of go around the meeting room and have people, if you like, you don't have to, but if you like, just say a few words of why you're signed up for this trip, what you're looking forward to, and your connection with Michigan State. So I'll just start to call out names, and you can just unmute yourself and say a few words. So I see Ellen.
Hi, my name is Ellen Lumpkin, and my husband and I are good friends with Gary and Laura Sanborn. So we are going with them on this trip, which will be one of our first.
Wonderful. Great. How about Andrew and Christine?
Hi, I got delegated as the speaker. Andrew and Christy Asimos. We live in Charlotte, North Carolina. The MSU connection is Christy, my wife, who's a graduate. We've been wanting to do the Christmas markets for several years, and this looked like a great opportunity to do that. So yeah, we're excited to do it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Kristen.
Hey, I'm Chris Bridges, a graduate of Michigan State, super excited about this market. I live in Florida now, so, and it's been a while since I've been in the cold, but I think I'm ready for it. Robin Moore and Mary Ann Ransler and I were sorority sisters together, and so Robin kind of encouraged us all, and then we got some other sorority sisters to join in the trip, and it's become a bigger group. So we're super excited about that, to be able to see each other. Really excited for the Christmas markets. Heard a lot about the markets and the festivity of being there for Christmas. So really excited about this trip.
Thank you. Mary Ann.
Yeah, I slowly figured out how to unmute, but anyways, I'm the slow one in the group. Ask Chris and Robin. I eventually catch on. So my connection to Michigan State is obviously I'm a graduate there. I currently live in Reno. So time change is a good 9 hours for me, but I'm ready and I'm used to the cold. It's huge snowstorm here today, and I wish I was out skiing instead of inside the house. So anyways.
Great. Thank you. Susan. Looks like you're taking a walk. Are you able to unmute? Okay. We'll come back to you. How about Carla?
Hi, Carla Pearson. I graduated from Michigan State. I was sorority sisters with Sarah and Allegra and Shauna, who aren't on the call today. We're part of that same contingent. I think Chris is connected with Allegra and Sarah, and then they kind of dragged me along. Not unwillingly, mind you. So I live out here in Seattle, so Marianne, you and I can adapt to the time change together. So I graduated in 1991, and I also went on the Flavors of Provence tour earlier this year. So I enjoyed some river cruising on the same company, I think, same ship line, I think. So I'm very much looking forward to this.
Wonderful, great. Robin?
Hi, I'm Robin. I graduated from Michigan State in 1986, and I am a Chicago girl, but moved to Southern Florida 2 years ago. So I'm not looking forward to getting back into the cold, but it'll be fun, and looking forward to seeing and meeting other sorority sisters and other Michigan State alumni and other alumni from other colleges as well. And I'm going to start packing on Saturday. So looking forward to it. I actually depart in about 8 days. I'll be in Europe for a while before the cruise. So I'm getting very excited.
Wonderful. And then we have Sarah.
Oh, that leaves me. Yes, and as Carla said, I went to see Chris and she said she was going on this cruise and I said I want to go on this cruise. And so that got more sorority sisters. And then I talked my husband didn't said he wasn't going to be the only guy. So then I talked to my brother who's not on the call and another fraternity brother of my husband and his wife, Nick and Melanie, all from Michigan State. And so we live in Flushing. And so I think we'll know half of the contingent there. But so I graduated in 1991 and looking forward to seeing everybody.
Oh, wow. This will be a nice reunion for all of you.
Yes.
Great. Okay, we'll come back to Susan. Are you able to unmute? Oh, don't worry about it. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today. If you do have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me, or you can reach out to Brian. And we'll get the answers for you. And also too, this is being recorded. So what I'll do is once we edit it, I get it edited, then I will send the link out. And so if there's something that you don't recall, you can do this, and I'll send it out to all the travelers. So if there are some people that were not on the call, then they have opportunity to view it. So, all right. Thank you again for joining us today. And I wish you safe travels, and thanks to Bob very much for helping us with this today.
Thank you all.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
predict this is going to be a very fun cruise.
Yeah. Sounds okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Go green, everyone. All right. Bye-bye.